It was so small that my hands nearly swallowed it. We found out later it was 8 weeks old, but it looked like it was barely 8 days old. It was so thin I could see every rib. I could feel its heart beating, its lungs pumping. The poor kitten was so weak it could barely hold its head up, and it was shaking uncontrollably. It opened its mouth, but the sound was weak and ragged. And the cold, that's what I remember most because I couldn't believe a living animal could be so cold. It felt like there was no warmth at all. So I cradled the kitten in my arms to share my heat. It didn't fight. Instead, it snuggled into my chest and laid its head against my heart. "Oh my," said Jean. "The poor baby," I said, squeezing tighter. Neither of us said anything for a while. We were just staring at the kitten. Finally, Jean broke the silence. "How do you think it got in there?" I wasn't thinking about last night. I was only thinking about right now. It was too early to call the veterinarian, who wouldn't be in for an hour. But the kitten was so cold. Even in the warmth of my arms, I could feel it shaking. "We've got to do something," I said. Jean grabbed a towel and we wrapped the little fellow up until only its pink nose was sticking out. Its huge, beautiful eyes were staring from the shadows. "Let's give it a warm bath," I said. "Maybe that will stop the shivering." I filled the staff room sink with warm water, testing it with my elbow as I clutched the kitten in my arms. It slid into the sink like a block of ice. Jean found some shampoo in the art closet, and I rubbed the kitten slowly and lovingly. As the water turned grayer and grayer, the kitten's wild shivering turned to soft purring. I smiled. This kitten was tough, but it was so very young. When I finally lifted it out of the sink, it looked like a newborn, huge-lidded eyes and big ears sticking out from a tiny head, wet, scared, and meowing quietly for its mother. We dried it with the blow dryer we used for drying glue at craft time. Within 30 seconds, I was holding a beautiful, long-haired orange tabby. The kitten had been so filthy before, I had thought it was gray. By this time, there were 4 people in the staff room, each cooing over the kitten. 8 hands touched it, seemingly at once. The other 3 staffers talked over one another, while I stood silently cradling the kitten like a baby and rocking back and forth. "Where did it come from?" "The drop box." "No! Is it a boy or a girl?" I glanced up. They were all looking at me. "A boy," I said. "He's beautiful." "How old is he?" "How did he get in the box?" I wasn't listening. I only had eyes for the kitten. "It's so cold." "Bitterly cold." "The coldest morning of the year." A pause then. "Someone must have put him in the box." "That's awful! Maybe they were trying to save him." "I don't know. He's so helpless. He's so young. He's so beautiful. Oh, he's breaking my heart." I put him down on the table. The poor kitten could barely stand. The pads on all 4 of his paws were frostbitten, and over the next week they would turn white and peel off. And yet the kitten managed to do something truly amazing. He steadied himself on the table and slowly looked up into each face. Then he began to hobble. As each librarian reached to pet him, he rubbed his tiny head against her hand and purred. It was as if he wanted personally to thank every person he met for saving his life. By now, it had been 20 minutes since I had pulled the tiny kitten out of the box, and I'd had plenty of time to think through a few things. The once common practice of keeping library cats, my plan to make the library more friendly, the logistics of bowls and food and cat litter, the trusting expression on the kitten's face when he burrowed into my chest and looked up into my eyes. So I was more than prepared when someone finally asked,